Welcome back to another gym vlog. This is Lifestyle Aesthetics, where we teach you how to level up consistently over time. Today is leg day. So unfortunately the gym was busy today, so we couldn't do much of the normal exercise that we wanted to do. However, we still adapt, right? We want to adapt to a busy gym, so we still got to do our leg day. Do not want to neglect them. So hack squat is the first movement we are going to do. You want to be mindful that you do some mind to muscle connection. You hit that pause at the bottom and force yourself on the way back up. As you saw here in the second clip, I cheated my way. I gotta have to go all the way down in order for it to count when you do your full rep hack squats. So I love this machine since I don't really squat with the barbell. Machines for me keep it much more safe, especially for my lower back as I approach into my mid 30s. You still want to get some strong legs, a strong body, be healthy overall, but do not force yourself to lift all this heavy weight, especially with the barbell. The free weights, if you cannot handle that, there's no reason to do all these heavy weights as we get older, since we want to be strong still, of course, but you want to be healthy. Take care of your joints, take care of your body, your ligaments, your nervous system, all of that stuff. Because as you get older, it's easier to get injured, and then it's going to mess up your whole journey, especially for those of us that want to lose weight and drop body fat. So, as always, the strategy is you do two working sets plus one drop set with the lighter weight in order to make sure that after you have achieved your strength, with the high intensity, you have more muscle definition. This is a version of a leg curl. So this still works out the hamstrings. However, you're kneeling on a pad and you're doing it one leg at a time. So this felt awkward for me at first. So we're doing 10 pounds on each side, and the machine claims that it has a 16.8 pounds of resistance without the weights. So testing it out, I do feel it out on my hamstrings. So the first working set is just 10 pounds on each side, and as you will see on the second set, we have added 10 more pounds on each side, so 20 on each side. You still want to go slower controlled. This kind of mimics what a leg curl would do, since you are focused on doing working on your hamstrings. So unfortunately, this really does not target the calves too much, because the leg curl, according to what it says on the machine, it works out the hamstrings plus the calves. So we didn't get that extra benefit of working on the calves. However, with the seated leg curl, but with this one, you still target your hamstrings. We're still going to target our lower body regardless. So if you have this machine, definitely recommend to try it out with the lower weights first before you do anything too crazy. Um, the one complaint I do have with this machine, I don't know if it's me, but I felt a little bit awkward on my kneecaps. So I don't really like this machine too much. I much prefer the seated leg curl. I felt some type of pinch on my knees. It felt stiff. So I wouldn't do this voluntarily. Like if everything else was free, I would not do this again. So yeah, that's what I would one of the drawbacks I would say. But again, since the gym was busy, this is what to contend with. You still want to target your hamstrings, you still want to target the majority muscle groups of your lower body. Also, since you're doing one leg at a time, I would recommend doing your weakest side first. So for me, my weak side is the left side, so that's what we do first. And then back downstairs to do some leg extensions. As you see here, zooming in very close, especially with the heavy weight. Um, I am holding at the top for at least 1 second and then controlling the weight back as we go back down. So the explosive movement going up and a slow and controlled movement on the way back down, as you see here. And that's one of my strategies for lifting overall in general. You want to have that time under detention, on time under tension. So slow negatives is what counts. You could also be counting that in your head, 1, 2, 3, all the way back down. So resting for 2 minutes and then back at it again with the same heavy weight. Controlling it back down is the way to I build muscle. And then the drop sets after the second heavy working set, just repping out the last few reps, since I'm just trying to empty out all the energy I have in the tank. And then we are doing some standing calf raises. So this is how to do them. As I said before, you stand with the platform. The upper half of your feet have to be on the platform, and the bottom half of your feet have to be in midair. So you would hold it at the bottom stretch and the top stretch to make sure that you're effectively working on your calves. So this angle here could also see what I'm talking about. So this machine definitely helps me to develop some good strength. So there's a version where you have this with the stack machine with the weights, the plates, and then the other ones where you have to load the plates on it. For me personally, loading with the plates, it feels much more smooth. The other version of this same machine feels a little bit more stiff. So that's why I stick to these, loading the plates onto the machine. It just feels more smooth and doesn't feel as stiff, doesn't feel any awkwardness in my movements. So we had a 45 and a 10 on each side, and then just removing the 10-pound plate for the drop set. So it's 45 on each side. Just repping up the last few, making sure that I'm doing it slow and controlled. And then to make sure that we target the hamstrings and the calves, the posterior chain, a little bit better, we're going to do some Romanian deadlift. We have a 45 and a 35 on each side. The barbell itself is 45 pounds, so you do the math. Quite heavy, so we do 5 good reps. So you want to hinge your hips here. Keep your back straight as best as possible, because if you're bending too much, you are going to hurt yourself. So my grip, I do alternating hands. So my right hand is like a reverse grip, and then pronated grip on the left. I feel like it probably would be imbalanced, but this is for me like the most comfortable, since it feels awkward if I just do two hands the same way. So with this is how I do my grip with the barbell, Romanian deadlift. It's easier for me, and it's more comfortable, more natural. And then we're doing some shrugs. So we always do shrugs on leg days, since usually we have the Romanian deadlift machine, but we still have the access of the barbell. So making sure that hitting your traps is part of your routine, whether it's for your upper body day or lower body day. So right here, as you see, I'm holding it for 1 second, and it's a short movement. You can't, this is like the full range of motion when you do barbell shrugs or just shrugs in general. So there's not too much leeway. That's why I like to hold at the top. Not everybody holds it at the top stretch. Others just do it a little bit fast. But for me personally, yes, going a little bit heavy does work. But also just holding that top stretch for the shrugs will help me develop them. And as you see here, they're popping through my shirt. This is like an oversized shirt. So doing my shrugs in this fashion will definitely help me build some big, thick traps. That pretty much sums up the video for leg day. Thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video, and hit that subscribe button.